Marty and I were just kind of discussing our approach and our philosophy kind of around self-defense and personal protection. And what we adamantly believe is that the average person, they're going to kind of get interested in self-defense or personal protection in response to a need, whether it's a fear driven from an event that has happened in society, whether they're going off to college, whether their spouse is going out of town, they're going to be home alone. And so oftentimes somebody will go out, they'll invest 2 to 3 hours of their time in a self-defense class, learn a couple moves, learn some mindset and mentality, and then feel empowered. The reality of the matter is that's not a good approach in our eyes. The average person, like it or not, will be at a disadvantage if they get into a physical confrontation with somebody that inflicts violence and is engaged in a criminal life as their way of earning a living. These are hardened thugs that are seasoned at inflicting violence upon others. And to train yourself to win a physical confrontation is setting yourself up for failure. Rather, the approach that Marty and I prefer is to hone our situational awareness and become extremely skilled at picking up on attack indicators before the physical confrontation actually takes place. And what this allows you to do is develop a mindset based on empirical knowledge that you gain from experience throughout your everyday life. And the reason that's important, that you're capable of developing your own skill set based on your own set of circumstances, is that everybody leads different lives. My set of circumstances are different than Marty's, which are different from yours. So I can take my knowledge and give it to you, but it might not be applicable to your lifestyle. So the approach that we take is we rather like to educate people in regard to a framework, a methodology that they can use in their everyday life to become more aware of their surroundings and know what to look for, and even force indicators if they have to. Let me give you an example. Oftentimes people will say, "Hey Dave, I was out at night and somebody was approaching me and I didn't know what to do. I was scared, the hair was standing up on the back of my neck. What am I to do?" Well, this is a civilized society. When somebody approaches you on the street, you can't go running across the street every time, or else you look silly. So what you need to do, first of all, is trust your intuition. When the hair's standing up on the back of your neck, we're animals, okay? We sense when something's wrong. If that's what you're sensing, chances are something is wrong. Second thing, the person's coming at you is 20, 30 feet away, okay? Like I said, you can't go running across the street every time you see somebody in public. But number one, the hair's standing up on the back of your neck for a reason. Number two, you don't need to go running across the street. Stop. Walk across the street, because you picked this person up when they're 30 feet out. Your situational awareness is so good, you saw them coming, okay? So what you need to do now by crossing the street is force an attack indicator. Make them indicate somehow that they're interested in you, okay? The second you cross the street, if they cross the street, okay, you have correlation of movement, all right? Now you're really getting aware of what's going on, okay? Now, how do we know that it wasn't coincidence? Well, you could change directions and start speeding up your walking. They start speeding up their walking, it's game on. It's time for you to run and scream. Now you've just forced 2 attack indicators on your terms while you still have, a good length of distance and could do something, okay? If you walked into this situation on the flip side of the coin with no situational awareness, the ability to force no attack indicators, you probably would have been right on top of that individual in a physical confrontation if their goal was to inflict harm on you when it's too late to reasonably have expectations of winning the conflict. So that is just one example of many that kind of illustrate the approach that Marty and I take in our philosophy to personal protection and self-defense. Now let's look at the term self-defense, because that's important in our philosophy. I've never been a fan of self-defense because it implies defense, meaning you're already on the receiving end of something, okay? There's nothing defensive about personal protection. You have to have a self-offense mindset. You have to go out there in the situation, take total control of it, analyze everything that's going on, and process and react on your terms given your lifestyle. And once you have the ability to do that and take responsibility for how you engage in your day-to-day life, then you will really be on the path to what I call true personal protection, and then you will have the ability to grow your knowledge set, grow your database according to your set of circumstances.
Yes, your instincts are real.